Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And off we go from Seattle. Short boot, taken at the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Watch twist. No.
Back to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, first and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 at their 38.
14, find it. Slam. Check 13, 6, pull it, half. Left pass.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Watch the curve.
Again, Wilson. Gets it to Gordon. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Come on, set. Send over. General West. Check. Get it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. It's Mixon on the counter. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
at their own 20-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Shoot. Good job right there. Gun.
On first down, Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
36 power.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
36 power.
2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Front left.
On third down, Wilson. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All go special. Inches. Right there.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flush to his right. He lets it fly, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. It's complete to Lockett. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett there to make the grab. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Joe Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Ready. Let's go, baby. Use your pocket. Shoot.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Alert. I'm here all day. Watch out. Hold. Hey, zero. Good touch.
Now Wilson on 1st down. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 14. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And now the throw hauled in by Green. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And an alley to run. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, 67 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch 36, 37, Mike 36.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second and 9 now. He's got Green. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
70, Indy.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Second and 10. Going up top. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Now, Bengals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and 10. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. So first and 10 now from the 30.
He's checking.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2. This is Carson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1. On third down, it's Carson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Able to get this to Gordon. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Facing a second and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
14. 6, line 36.
Now it's Wilson. Dorsett's got it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Got Gordon open, completes it. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Hey, alert. 36 to Mike.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Sean Williams there defensively to break that one up. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll find Metcalf. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The end result, 21 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's complete. It's Gordon. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They run it with Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson is going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and it's knocked away and incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Wilson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Come on, fellas.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. 2nd down and inches. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
On first down, Mixon. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Brings up second and 10 at the Seahawks 31-yard line.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll give it to Mixon. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Another try for Mixon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave them with a long 4th and goal. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Bravo! 49
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a give, right side. Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Brings up third down.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Bengals drive about to get going. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On second down, here's Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Again, it's Mixon, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here. Got a man open, it's Ross. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross 70 yards. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
That one covers 29 yards, 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Check three. 30. Drop Walker.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Well, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
Second and long. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Alert.
Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. He'll try and run it. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down.
Check 50. Watch the screen. Pass. Check 99. Check 99.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Now Wilson on first down. And it's caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now back to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Wilson. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Myers connects on the PAT. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Open man is lost, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
Ready.